I'm gonna play Minecraft. I lose it. What? I'm just gonna choose a village. Oh, there's nothing. Okay. So. Ten chunks. Hi, everyone. Let me put that there. Alright, everyone, we are ready. Woo! Okay.
But he does receive a dose of the super soldier serum after receiving a blood transfusion from Isaiah, and that was definitely helpful. Before that, he was just lying about being a super soldier when in actuality he was just a regular Joe. And really though, does Elijah need the super soldier serum? The Falcon and the Winter Soldier show has proven that you don't need to be a super soldier to throw a shield with physics-defying accuracy and strength.
Let's see.
Very unclear how strong the super soldiers are in fights, so if Elijah never gets the super strength boost, I think he'll still be fine. He could probably stick to his Captain America replica shield, as well as his signature throwing stars, and I think that would be awesome. In the comics, Elijah joined the Young Avengers, which, although nothing's been confirmed, it looks like the MCU is slowly building toward. I mean, you have all these future young heroes just sitting around. Why not pair them up with one another? Besides Elijah Bradley, you also have the upcoming Kate Bishop in her own Hawkeye show. You have Wanda's two children, Wiccan and Speed, who we know now are still alive somewhere.
Hold on.
Scott Lang's
I think I know what that is.
who does become a hero in the comics, who has gone by quite a few different aliases. And then on top of that, you have the new Iron
Is that a
coming,
Rumple?
as well as Ms. Marvel. Those two haven't really been Young Avengers, but you can throw them in there probably. Why not? All that adds up to an absolutely stellar Young Avengers lineup, and they could really benefit from someone like Patriots to add some Captain America flair to their ranks. And even if the Young Avengers wasn't Elijah's thing, he's also been part of the Secret Avengers, which in the comics was set up by Steve Rogers in response to the Superhuman Registration Act. Now, obviously, that storyline can't happen now in the MCU, but maybe Sam, as the new Captain America, recruits his own Secret Avengers to fight against the growing Dark Avengers led by John Walker. Now, that sounds pretty cool, right? So, the big question is...
So, I'm either gonna play Minecraft until I lose it, or until my parents get mad and I can't, and I have to stop playing. Those are the two things. I want to at least last 20 days. Not like 20 days in like actual like real life, like Minecraft. Because I don't think I'd be able to play during class. Because I have to go to school.
So unless it was just a fun Easter egg to get channels like Yards make videos about it, then hopefully this is the beginning of a great path for Elijah Bradley and his Patriot persona. Fingers crossed.
I get that food.
Who is going to design a Patriot's costume? He doesn't have the Wakanda hookup.
This one's the perfect gift for the friend who's been getting a little too comfortable during quarantine. Maybe your son, a father. The wife.
Is Falcon and the Winter Soldier return to a life of villainy? Well, probably not exactly. The second episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier gave us a tease of Bucky's healing time in Wakanda, where he became known as the White Wolf.
Little time in Wakanda and you come out White Panther. It's actually White Wolf.
Interestingly enough, the White Wolf character in the comics is one of Black Panther's biggest villains. So why would the MCU choose to give Bucky that name? Today's video is breaking down everything we know about White Wolf from the comics and how the MCU can adapt that with Bucky's current character arc. Let's get started right now.
For was a fight.
My Earth thing.
Poor Bucky. The first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier really reaffirmed how hard Bucky's life has been so far. As he puts it, he's been in a non-stop fight for over 80 years, and that sort of thing can weigh on a person. There's still so much about his Winter Soldier past that we don't know, but we have the basic gist.
I love how no one's showing the stream to like emotional support me. This sounds quite weird, but I need emotional support just to finish this challenge. Maybe I can like get a, maybe I can get like somebody to join. Like, maybe I can like mess around with me. Maybe Xander, maybe Pons Jr., maybe Pons Jr. I think he watches my videos. Yeah, I don't know who else. I don't have many friends.
Solution. So let's be real here. How long do you think it took Shuri to find an answer? 1, maybe 2 days? Alright, fine. Maybe it was harder than that, so I'll say 3 days tops. I'm sure you did your best.
This unforgettable vacation memory. It didn't actually begin here. This memory began when Dad booked his family summer vacation early on Verbal. Book early, cancel if you need to.
Oh no, not this. Why? The commercials always have to play that. Let me check what time it is. Alright, so if I don't lose it, like between like an hour or so, I'll be surprised.
Shuri calls him Sergeant Barnes, but he insists to call him Bucky, which is a way to show that he's mostly back to his old self. He's even dressed in solid red and blue, which is a subtle tease to his taking over the Captain America mantle in the comics. But then there's a bit of a swerve. In Infinity War, Thanos is coming, knocking on Earth's door, looking for a fight, and they need Bucky. T'Challa says that Bucky may be tired of war, but he's rested long enough. They give him an awesome new vibranium arm that's probably decked out with some cool special features like a snack department and the ability to turn into a Swiss Army knife.
Okay, how much for the arm? Not for sale.
Fine, I'm speculating, but Shuri likes to have fun, so you know that arm has upgrades. It's important in this
I forgot to make sticks.
His former red and blue robe is now faded, but now there's a white element to his clothing that completely shines. This probably has something to do with his name. Black Panther calls him the White Wolf. Fans who know White Wolf's comic origins probably got excited about this, and the fact that in the second Falcon and Winter Soldier, they bring up the White Wolf moniker again, it could mean a lot of fascinating things for Bucky's future in the MCU. So, was Bucky ever the White Wolf in the comics? No, he wasn't. Which makes the MCU giving Bucky the moniker all the more interesting, especially since White Wolf is a villain in the comics. But I think it will all make sense once you hear White Wolf's comic story and why it matters for Bucky. In the comics, long ago, there was a plane crash near the Wakandan border where the only survivor was a Caucasian child. Wakanda's whole thing for a while was all about isolation and secrecy. I mean, if you had all that technology, would you want to share it with the world? No. People are greedy. We saw how fast the new gaming consoles sold out, so people would lose their minds if they knew how advanced Wakanda was. The lines for tourism would be crazy. Anyways, even though they liked their privacy, King T'Chaka, T'Challa's father, took pity on the orphan child and took him in. His name was Hunter, and T'Chaka raised him as a son for a bit. Everything was going great until T'Challa was born. This caused immediate jealousy from Hunter since it meant he was no longer in line for the throne. This had an interesting effect on Hunter. Although he was furious, he decided to train his body and mind in order to prove he could be the perfect Wakandan citizen, eventually becoming a fierce warrior and the head of Wakanda's secret police force, adapting the name White Wolf. But when T'Challa became king, the animosity only continued to grow when Black Panther disbanded the secret police for being too violent, which led to Hunter and his group to be exiled from Wakanda, where they would become mercenaries for hire. Over the years, the two Sorta brothers would cross paths and fight. It was very much a Thor/Loki situation when you think about it. Yes, that's right, we could have had a Thor-Loki 2.0 in the MCU. Yes, Hunter's methods were extreme, and he disagreed with T'Challa's way of ruling things. But Hunter was always loyal to Wakanda and would protect it against outside threats when the situation called for it. But it definitely looks like now we won't be getting Hunter or the OG White Wolf in the MCU. A lot of his backstory has so much in common with Killmonger that they couldn't reintroduce the character without it feeling like a copycat. And now the White Wolf moniker has been given to Bucky. But you have to ask yourself, why did they do this? There has to be a...
Earn free crypto just by learning about it. Coinbase Earn is the fast, easy, and rewarding way to learn about cryptocurrency, like Compound,
Not the lie.
and more. Simply watch short videos.
I'm kind of already losing it.
About what you've seen and get rewarded.
Peacock is streaming, and it's free.
I want somebody here with me. No, I want this.
Or none. And that's why you can't not watch.
Reason, right? It's not like they were gonna turn Bucky into a villain again. That would just be cruel. So why slap him with the White Wolf name? Well, it does make you think what the MCU's original plan for Bucky was going to be. Remember, Sebastian Stan signed that standard 9-picture contract, so he still has a lot of movies left as Bucky Barnes.
Ah, you buddy of Bucky. What did you say?
And before the MCU
I can
was
make a
truly
portal.
focusing on streaming shows, I think they had something else in mind for Bucky. It seems like they were setting up a solid supporting role in Black Panther 2. Think about it. As I mentioned, White Wolf heads his own secret police while remaining super loyal to Wakanda, but tends to be too violent. It's easy to see how they could easily translate that to Bucky. Imagine a subplot in Black Panther 2 where Bucky is struggling with his brainwashing and violent impulses, but being fiercely loyal to Wakanda for saving his life and trying to help him. Him and T'Challa wouldn't necessarily have to have an antagonistic relationship, but rather they'd have a complicated one because of Bucky's issues, and that would have tested what type of king T'Challa was. I'm sticking to the idea that that was the original plan before things changed. Maybe the MCU realized a Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show would be better for the character overall, and they shifted gears. Of course, with the tragic passing of Chadwick Boseman and the statement that they are not recasting T'Challa for the sequel, does open up some exciting possibilities where we could still see Bucky as White Wolf. Right now, Bucky is looking for a life. He's trying to make amends for his past decisions and escape the Winter Soldier shadow. Since he's not becoming Captain America, the door is open for him to take on a new mantle, and that's
What'd I do?
Maybe after the events of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show, not only will Sam upgrade to Captain America, but Bucky will realize that he wants to help Wakanda rather than the United States, and build a new identity for himself there. That means that he could still show up in Black Panther 2 and be a vital role in keeping the peace after T'Challa's death. Bucky is quickly becoming one of the most complex characters thanks to Falcon and Winter Soldier. So the MCU shouldn't be done with his story after the show is over. That's why we need the White Wolf. Man, they keep changing Bucky's name around in the MCU. Here's hoping we'll follow some of his time as the Man on the Wall alias, because that's just fun to say, isn't it? Look out, here comes the Man on the Wall. Man, comics can be strange.
Okay, let's sleep.
And that's just basic wavy guy maintenance, right? Next up, Carvana. Oh boy, Carvana just doesn't seem to understand how the test drive works. They give their...
Welcome back to New Rockstars. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier is finished, but we've still got questions. Like, does anyone on the show know where old Steve Rogers is, and what's the real story behind that shield from Endgame? Since the Falcon is now Captain America, we're gonna cave to what the commenters originally wanted this to be and turn our WTF into a WTB. What the fuck? This is Inside Marvel. Today we're gonna do a special postseason wrap-up episode to answer all the big remaining questions you might have about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or Rogers was a no-show in the show, and the big secret about that shield that Sam Wilson now carries. Also, leftover questions about the Power Broker, the removed storyline that has been somewhat confirmed this past week, and whether Donya Madani might have been Isaiah Bradley's nurse that helped him escape.
Interesting.
It is interesting, and you're interesting, MT, and all of you are interesting and hopefully interested in this interesting person. And this sometimes interesting, sometimes snooze fest.
Eric, you are the most interesting person on the screen right now. I love you, Eric. Don't you dare say it.
Oh, I love you too, MT. Well, let's show some love to something that you guys should all be interested in. Our various merch options. Right now, I'm wearing my stupid Hi, I'm Eric Boss shirt. But we got some even better options, like our Anarchy Assembled shirt, as well as our Zemo design. Both of which available on NewRockstarsMerch.com, but both designs are being retired to the moon, we think, on Monday. So this weekend is your last chance to get one of those, because we got new shit in the pipeline for Loki. I can't wait.
We always got new shit coming to you guys. Like, we literally have the best shirts. Like, the shirts, like, no BS.
Good shirts.
I genuinely enjoy our selection. It's so good. So you guys gotta check those out.
And if you get the Anarchy Assembled shirt, you will unlock an additional option to write in a custom shout-out that will appear at the bottom of these Inside Marvel after shows. For example, we got Tahani Ray Murphy asking, do you think the Sharon is Power Broker reveal is disrespectful to the Carter family legacy? It does change what we thought about the Carter family, but you know what? The apple falls from the tree in all families, wouldn't you say?
It does kind of change the character of Sharon Carter from what we know of her in the comics. There was that storyline in the comics where I believe she was mind controlled by Dr. Faustus, and she did go bad then, but like for the most part, Sharon Carter has been a good person. So it seems here that she's sort of going in this evil-ish route with the Power Broker.
Well, Leon Jackson also asked, hey Eric, do you think Nick Fury, Howard Stark, or Peggy Carter knew of Isaiah Bradley? Funny you should ask Leon, because we're going to be talking about that later this episode. Also, Josh Soderbergh asked, do you think people know that the shield Sam is using is a different one from a different timeline? Well, also funny you should ask, because I think that's our first What the Fuck. What is our first What the Fuck, MT?
Our first What the Buck is exactly what the buck happened to old Steve after Endgame, and where did he get the shield that Sam now carries?
California homeowners, how would you like to get a brand new free air conditioning system when you upgrade to solar and erase your energy bills? That's right, with this new program, you can get solar panels for $0 and get a brand new free air conditioning system as part of the deal. If you'd like to see if you qualify to erase your energy bill and get a free air conditioner, just click the link below this video. You can still watch the video you're here for. We'll just take you to a new window, ask a few...
And we did get a bit of information from this series. There were 2 points where they kind of joked about that conspiracy theory that Steve Rogers is on the moon. But I'm gonna put out there that the theory might be actually he's in Wakanda. Why do I think that? Well, in the in-game final battle, Steve's shield was broken in half by Thanos. It was kind of lost in the rubble. It was around the time when Thanos destroyed the Quantum Tunnel van with the best Olympic spear throw.
It really was really good.
He got the gold. Yeah. Now, I have always presumed, as if you've watched any of our videos, that shield that he gave to Sam was something that he brought over from the alternate timeline that he lived out his life in, according to the directors. And I theorized that in that other timeline, Steve could have formed a relationship with T'Challa and even his father T'Chaka of Wakanda, and that they could have made him a new shield out of proto-adamantium, and that's why the shield looks kind of a slightly different design now. And now, if old Steve wants to lay low, if he's still in this world, present MCU timeline, where would he go? Well, it seems like retiring in Wakanda seems like a safe place to do that. It is kind of like he would be a place that he might have connections with people, where he might be able to live peacefully the way Bucky did, you know? But I find it interesting how MT and I talked about this a little bit on Stereo this past week. Another explanation for how old Steve might have gotten that new shield into Sam's hands.
Yes, and like while I do love the alternate timeline theory, I think it's more fun. I think that it's just like a really great thing for it would be a great thing for audiences to see on screen, and it would tie into Multiverse Madness and Loki and all of that. But there is a potentially a way less interesting and a lot more boring explanation for why the
You keep saying that, but I think it is just as interesting.
Well, hopefully. I think that this in Winter Soldier? Is that how she dies?
Oh, I think it's just she's old,
okay.
right?
Probably.
She would have been probably in her 80s.
Well, I think she had Alzheimer's
90s.
because she forgot Steve, right? She was like, oh my god,
She started
Steve.
to. It could have just been general dementia.
yeah.
I don't know if
I
it's
don't know if
diagnosed
it's
as Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's.
I gotta go rewatch it. Let's all rewatch Winter Soldier.
Right now.
It's so good. Right now.
But like, I think that there could be another reason, explanation for why Steve is not around in Falcon Winter Soldier. I think that if you just think of it logical, like he's been 80 years in an alternate timeline. He went with Peggy, and he probably had kids. He had a whole life there. And if he comes back to this native timeline to, you know, live his life, he's gonna. What if he dies in his native timeline? Then he leaves. He's not going to be able to be buried with Peggy. He's not going to be able to, you know, have a service where his family and friends can show up. So like, I think he just went back. He's like, I came here to give you the shield and to let you guys know where I am and what I did. And now that I'm done, I'm going back. I'm going to live the rest of my life in the Peggy timeline. And that's it. I think he went back, honestly.
Yeah. Which, yeah, also a very valid explanation. It just brings up more questions of like, what exactly was the quantum technology? Is it the same, you know, Tony Stark wristwatch plus Pym-Tech that they used in Endgame? But like the way he did is he like quantum navigated down a tunnel, made kind of like a 270 degree turn to go back up a different timeline from that branch nexus point, and knew exactly how to quantum navigate on his own. Maybe you could say Steve Rogers became a pretty experienced quantum navigator when he returned all those stones from the time ice. He must have been, if the universe is still intact as it is. But like, it's interesting horizontal as opposed to a vertical back in time. It's horizontally across timelines that have progressed, you know, parallel in the same way. So like, maybe in that advanced future there is like a Reed Richards who figured out how to like quantum navigate a bit better, or a Kang, you know, who was, you know, kind of related. They're kind of part of that same family tree there. But like, yeah, there's all, it opens it up in all these ways that I don't even know if the Russo brothers thought that far ahead. I assume Kevin Feige has, because there's all kinds of crazy brains under that ball cap. But, you know, are they ever going to explore this in a movie? Are they ever going to answer this in particular in like the Fantastic Four movie? I don't know.
I would love if they did, but there also is another possibility here, because you got to remember in Endgame, when everyone went back in time, there was a short period of time where the Avengers Mansion was completely empty, and like the time machine was there, and like it was ready for someone to come through. So like, while
Biff style, Biff and Back to the Future Part 2 sneaking over with an almanac.
basically like
everything else.
Steve could have just been like, hey, now that this is I know it's gonna be empty at this time, I'm gonna pop in, leave, go to the apartment, wait for young Steve to leave, and then grab the shield. So like, there is a time machine available for him to come back if, you know, if he can't just automatically pop wherever he wants to go.
One of my favorite things in time travel fiction is the whole idea of a government unattended time travel machine at some point in the timeline. Every time travel movie has it. It's like, well, was anyone guarding the DeLorean at that point? Because anybody could have grabbed it. If Biff could have grabbed it back to the Part 2, anybody could have like seen Marty and Doc screaming at each other in an alleyway, throw in Marty's girlfriend in a dumpster. Asking questions, very valid questions about what is this inappropriate relationship doing? This man who's far too old to be friends with a teenager. What is going on? I'm stealing their car to fix this.
That's so true. What a weird friendship, an unlikely friendship. So sketchy.
Okay.
But you bring up a good point, MT, because that quantum device, I have used that as a basis for quite a few theory videos. The fact that 2988 was on that machine, 2009 was on that machine. Like, I posed a whole theory that Stark might have known about Kang, you know, that like he went on a whole separate time travel journey while everyone else was changing their outfits to get ready for Hulk to snap the Stark gauntlet. Stark just did one of those, walked by the machine, went rubberneck
Kevin was like, let's go, let's talk to Eric. Well, the MCU would literally go, that's better. Hands down.
Now, just to go into some alternate points with this shield, some people are saying it might have been like the shield that Cap gave to Sam, that he gave to Sam, was the backup alternate Cap's new shield that Happy Hogan talked about in Spider-Man Homecoming. There was also a prototype shield in Tony Stark's lab in Iron Man 2. They could have been the same thing, and then Tony always had a backup shield. My answer to that is that if that was the case, that might have been the backup shield that Tony gave back to Steve in Endgame that had the scratches polished off. I think it's gonna be too weird if there's too many alternate shields. However, I think there's probably just one, and Tony has a way to polish it. But some people are also bringing up the fact that Ao's spear did not scratch or dent the shield in episode 4 when they were fighting. I just think that was vibranium on vibranium, or the fact that you could argue it was made out of proto-adamantium at that point. I'm still kind of clinging to that theory, but I think if it was made out of something stronger than a vibranium spear, it would have dented the spear. It would have made the spear crooked or broken the spear somehow. So that could stand up to it. But MT, remind me, there have been moments where like vibranium has gone up against adamantium, right?
Oh, let's go. Let's go in.
Not as strong alloy as adamantium. It doesn't shatter his claws.
No, it shouldn't shatter his claws at all. No, I think that...
But he can't break the shield though. He just kind of like...
Yeah, I mean, vibranium is really energy absorption. Like, that's why it's called vibranium. And, like, the word vibrates in there. So it's like, you know, any hit that a vibranium object will take, it'll displace a lot of that energy. So it's going to take a lot. Like, the only real way that I can really see, like, a scratch going into it is, like, in some Black Panther really dug in there and scratched the shield.
Guys, I really hope they cancel Joel's peanut butter. That's what happened to me when I was in Kindle. And then until I was in my house, and the
He's selling all those stress balls to make his fingers real strong.
So that's why he's so strong. It's not the heart-shaped nerve. It's just all that stress ball.
That's right.
Vibranium. I don't know what to say.
He grabs stuff real tight and
Exactly.
claw into it. That wasn't the vibranium. That was the heart-shaped herb strength in his fingers.
Exactly. So, like, I think that there's a difference in strength there, but it could just be just like we just wanted to save money on budget, and so we just didn't want to like scratch the shield. It could be anything, but
If Cap is not dead or returned to his other timeline, and I keep saying Cap. I know he's Steve Rogers, not Cap anymore. Sam is Cap. But if Steve is not dead or returned to another timeline, I hope that if he's in space, he actually is on the moon, or if he's on Earth, that he is in Wakanda. That's kind of my answer for where he is right now.
that'd be great. I mean, hey, Wakanda seems like a great destination spot for white dudes from the 40s. So why not?
Well, we have a lot of other things we want to talk about, but first we want to thank some people who helped us make this episode. Inside Marvel is brought to you by HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. HelloFresh cuts out stressful meal planning and grocery store trips so that you can enjoy cooking and get dinner on the table in about 30 minutes. I really like cooking, and I'm always meaning to be more ambitious, but I'm also super